I'm Brent Johnson.
And I'm Andrew Schaeffer.
And today we've come to Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Dubuque. We're back down in the city. And Andrew, tell me about the organ here at this church.
Rather unusual instrument. It was built in 1892 by William Schuelke out of Milwaukee. Same year, well, almost the same year as the one we saw in New Vienna, Iowa. This organ was rebuilt in 1922 by the Wangerin Organ Company, also of Milwaukee, and they electrified it, put a new console on it, and I may have done some work to the facade. I'm not quite sure. It'd be something for an organ historian to investigate.
I noticed the console reminds me a lot of the Masonic Center in Madison.
Yeah, it's the
Wangerin there.
It's a dead ringer for a Wangerin. As far as we know, all of the Schuelke pipework made it into this organ. It was revoiced, maybe rescaled a little bit. It's sort of hard to pick it out, but there's a lot of really old pipework, really high quality pipework in this organ. So we're going to try to deduce as best we can this very special instrument. Just before we begin, the console was redone sometime I think in the early 1980s with Klon components by a local builder. The local builder at the time attempted to do what many builders are always tempted to do, and that is to add upper work to these older instruments. And so, but much of the upper work was never put in. There was this knob for a mixture four-rank mixture in the pedal, four-rank plongeur in the swell, none of which appear in this organ. They were dreaming big in the 80s. But the church is aware that this is a historic instrument with a lot of really unique and rare pipe work in it, and are actively trying to figure out what its next chapter will be, and hopefully a restoration and will be in the near future.
Oh, I hope so. For now, let's hear what we've got and hear some of these original sounds, or figure out which ones are original.
So we're going to start in the choir division. There's an 8-foot Geigen principal. Really lovely stringy sound. The ubiquitous Melodia.
Of course. That's a great sound.
Yeah. Hard to mess up a Melodia in a good acoustic. And a Dulciana 8. Softest stop in the organ.
And very stringy for Dulciana there.
Yeah. Flauto amabile. I would bet the bank that that's a Schuelke stop. I don't think Wangerin named their stops Flauto amabile very often. And let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Schuelke.
Okay. It's lovely.
Nice and bright and really versatile stop. I'll put it with the Melodia.
Yeah, let's hear that.
I'll put a little bit in the pedal, although there's nothing little about this pedal division, as we will soon learn. Then there's an 8-foot quintadina in the choir. Might think that's from the 80s. I don't think it is. I think that builders would occasionally put in quintadinas in their organ.
See what it sounds like.
Take that back. That might be from the 80s.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a colorful sound, but yeah, it doesn't sound Schuelke or Wangerin there, so.
So anyway, we have an 8-foot clarinet in the choir. I'm willing to bet that's Wangerin, because it two reasons. One is that it sounds very similar to the 8-foot clarinet in the Masonic Center that play in Madison. Also, it's not a very pretty clarinet, in my humble opinion. Wangerin just didn't build really nice clarinets. I think it's hard to screw up a clarinet, but they sort of. That's just my opinion.
I kind of like it. I think it's got some little edge to it.
It's got edge to it. It doesn't have kind of
it's
that
not that big fat
woody sound.
Yeah, but it's still useful, certainly.
It's a little thinner, and maybe it'll go well with the quintadina.
Sure.
Sure enough, it sort of works.
Yeah.
Sort of like a crumhorn.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you
have
add
a buzzy
the
quality to it.
melodia to it, I bet that would fatten it up a little bit.
I bet it
and
would too.
Would give you.
Still buzzy.
It is buzzy, I will agree.
Especially, and the buzziness seems to come up more when you add stops to it. It's rather unusual.
Well, part of the feature.
Let's go to the swell. Here we have a 16-foot Borden. I believe that is independent from the stop flute. Sure is. Yeah. So the Borden is a little softer. Speaking of, here's the stop diapason in the swell. Lovely sound.
That's
lovely
big
sound.
flute there for the swell.
Yeah. Just for kicks, let's compare it to the Doppel flute in the grade. Now, it could be where you and I are sitting. Maybe the mics will pick up something else, but that stop diapason is the biggest flute on the organ.
I think it is.
We have a violoncello 8, which is really acidic. Yeah, it's really nice. It has no celeste that stands alone.
Okay.
But there is a 4-foot violon that is independent of that.
Really?
Here we go, putting them together.
I'm curious about the violoncello with the stop diapason. How well do those work together with that big flute? It stands up to it.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm going to see if the solutional is an extension of that violon.
Oh,
Now that violon is
3
all by
independent strings
itself.
there. Okay.
Well, we do have a solutional with a voix celeste to it.
Lovely.
So what is labeled a flute celeste, but is anything but. I would bet that was an Aeolian from the Schuelke.
Probably from Schuelke, yeah.
And the well-meaning organ builder in the 80s maybe thought, well, we'll put a flute celeste, that'll be on our wish list, and take out that worthless Aeolian, and never got around to it. I think it would have been a very odd flute celeste with the stop diapason.
Yeah, you would need.
So
Maybe they were imagining a 2-rank.
who knows what they were thinking.
Single stop. Okay.
Harmonic flute 4.
Yeah, it's lovely. A little smaller than I was expecting, given that stop diapason, but
Yeah, let's put it together, put a little in the pedal.
it brightens it up nicely. Turns
sure
out it
does.
works. Okay.
Then we have a Dolce Cornet 3 ranks. And the Masonic Center actually has a Dolce Cornet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it's meant to go with the strings, so let's do that. So put the harmonic flute in there. The stop diapason, why not? You only live once on a Schuelke Wangerin.
Yeah, it brightens it up a lot. I want to hear just the strings and add the cornet to them, just to hear what it adds.
But if I were to put a lot on the grate and then maybe add it at 8, it might really add to the harmonics there. It's not a stringy organ, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, besides the violoncello, you can't really amass quite a lot of strings, and so I would prefer to have a few more strings before adding that, but
it does serve a purpose there with brightening up the ensemble.
So we have a Vox Humana here. I played the stop before I'd seen it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but here it is. And I'll put the trem on because that's what you do. And the trim doesn't work, so I'll take it off. Perfect for your Schuelke.
Yeah.
Just kidding, of course.
It kind of works.
We have an 8-foot oboe. And an 8-foot cornopian.
Definitely is a Wangerin sound there.
That's definitely a Wangerin. I think all the reeds are Wangerin at this point.
Yeah.
So moving to the pedal, just going in no particular order, there's a humongous open diapason. Of course, open wood, and then a 16-foot violon. A really nice violon, actually.
Yeah.
And that is independent from the great 16-foot diapason. All right, and then we have a sub bass. Again, huge scale. Especially as it goes down, and then an octave bass. And a tuba magna.
It's huge.
It's really big. Going to the grate, we have a 16-foot open diapason.
Lovely.
That is independent. That's principal minore.
Okay.
Maybe a Schuelke stop that they redid. The 8-foot open diapason, I'm pretty sure is Wangerin because it's just pretty huge. Here's the swell. All 3 diapasons together. Foot extensions.
It really shows you how important those super couplers were to organs at this period. They
need
really
them.
they expected you to use them.
Although if we let's add the violoncello and the swell and then all the viola da gamba and the grate and couple it all at 8-foot pitch, and you can see how much those strings brighten this whole thing up. Super couplers. take off the strings.
You do add some
More
brightness.
acidity.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's listen to that viol de gamba in the grate and see what it's adding.
Compared to the violoncello, it's just so dang acidic.
Yeah,
In a
that's
bad
not,
way,
that's not
'cause
what I was
it's-
expecting quite out of the viol de gamba, but so that all of our brightness is coming from the swell there. Right?
Gemshorn 8.
Nothing.
4-foot octave. Here's with the 8. With the viol de gamba and the 4-foot coupler.
The diapason is still the bulk of that sound.
Right.
What is
Oh, sorry?
what does the 4-foot octave sound like with the principal minore there?
Here's your box sound. Not really.
It sound a little better paired though than
Yeah.
than the open. Okay.
There's an independent 12th. And I accidentally put on the 15th, so you heard that too. Similar to the Masonic Center, has that same thing. So here, this is not meant to be built up as a chorus, but why not? Let's try it. It's the 8-foot open diapason, 4-foot octave, 2 2/3, and 2. Here's a little mixture. I have no idea if this is from Schuelke or what's going on with it, but we'll put it together. Let's play it by itself. It says mixture 2 on the masking tape, so which I would believe.
A little quiet 2 ranks in there. Okay.
And then there's the tuba. You already heard it in the pedal. Here it is in the manual at 8-foot pitch. And I've run out of stops to show you, with the exception of the all-important chimes.
Never forget the chimes.
Yep. So here we go. Play your Christmas carol, your favorite Christmas carol, just for you. If only they were.
They're in there. They're
They're
just very
there.
soft.
Everyone has to be quiet to
Yes.
hear them. Anyway, so that's the 1892/1922 Wangerin, a little heavy-handed for Wangerins,
Yeah.
redo of the Schuelke, but I can't blame them. Such was the time
That was
period.
what they were doing back then.
And
yeah.
this is, as you can see from the cameras, an incredibly resonant church. That's it's been remodeled a few times, new stained glass, new altar, but it's not lost its charm and beauty.
The organ has enough power to fill the space
It does,
and
yeah.
make a big noise up here. And I'm curious to get inside. I haven't been up there yet. I did peek through the facade pipes, and you can actually see that it looks like there's some formerly painted pipes that are visible,
Okay.
which makes me think that yes, the facade has been modified a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
But we will have to take some cameras back there and get a look. But for now, I'd like to hear what you can make it do.
Sounds good.
So getting into the organ is as simple as opening up a door here in the case. Here on the bottom floor, we see the reservoirs, lots of winding, wind lines coming from the blower, which are across the hallway. There's our choir tremolo right there. And against the back wall, we see the pedal open. Looks like it's been revoiced a little bit. Looking to the left, we see it continue down, and there's some of the pedal cello pipes and more pedal chests. Where we're standing, there's a ladder that goes all the way up, but we're just going to take it up a little bit to get to this walkboard, which gives us access to the choir box. And here we are in the choir. The clarinet's in the front, the open flute behind it, and much to my surprise, that quintadina is, in fact, old pipework. Andrew had to come in and look for himself. Continuing that, we have the 8-foot open flute, and then the diapason in the back. Andrew's comment was, all of these pipes look very old, and indeed they do. Our diapason continues at the front here with the treble end. Now we've gone up the ladder, we're looking down at there was the walkboard we were on. We have to step over to that walkboard. And then I see those painted pipes down there. We'll get another look at those in a minute, but that's what caught my eye. Right here is the swell box, and Andrew has already made his way in. All of the 4-foot extensions here for the super coupler are on this little offset chest. And the stops are labeled on the swell shades. On the front half of the chest here, we have the vox humana and the oboe. Then our 3-rank mixture cornet down there. The aeoline, the stop flute. We have I believe the solitional and the open diapason there in the front. In the back we have the cornopian harmonic flute, our Gem's horn. Then we have the other pair of strings. And then the 16-foot flute is along the back. And then the swell box has a very interesting shape in order to keep it from sticking up above the facade, but you see it has swell shades on 2 sides, which is nice. Now we're going back to the back again, and here's those painted pipes. These obviously used to be facade pipes in the Schuelke organ, and Wangerin has put them back here and added sleeves for tuning and taken off the scrolls that would have been on the backs. But these are the only ones I can find, and there would have probably been more in a bigger facade, so maybe some pipes have been replaced. We're in the grate now, and I don't think we mentioned at the console that the grate is expressive, or most of it is. You see the big tuba in the back. There's those chimes we could barely hear. And there's a roar flute we didn't get to hear because it wasn't functioning. And some of our upper work there, or doppelflute. And there's our trumpet back there. I think this is the diapason minore, I believe. Because parts of the other principal chorus, based on the first diapason, are out in front of the chamber, which we did not make note of when we were at the console. There's a speaker there in the way, but you would get out to tune those there. Looks like there might be 3 ranks or so. That's the top of the choir box. Along the back, we see the 16-foot pedal open. There's the treacherous hole we have to step over to get to this spot. And just a little peek over the case out into the church. So across the hall from where we entered the organ is the blower room. Let's hear it start up. relays are in here. They're pneumatic and powered by air, which is piped in from behind. As we said, the organ was redone in the 80s, and indeed stuck here to the relay is a note from Mr. Merle from 1989, letting us know how the polarity works, which indicates some solid state was added to the organ, and you don't want to mess up the polarity on solid state relays. Well, Andrew, thank you once again for bringing me somewhere new and showing me something I've never quite seen before. Maybe somebody out there will know more about the history of this instrument and can pinpoint some things where some of the mysteries still lie.
This sounds like a great video for you and Ryan Mueller and Chris Sower to go in and find all the Schuelke stuff and do your detective work.
If only all these busy organ builders had time to come and
I'll
do this.
plant a seed.
We see if you can get them together, because I can't keep up with those guys. But yeah, it'd be a wonderful project to come learn a little bit more about, and has been exciting for me just to go in and see some of this stuff. So happy that there's this historic organ still playing, and that the church would like to see more happen to it, and it's always a positive thing.
To return it to its more of a semblance of its 1922 self. Would be a lot of fun.
Well, this has been an amazing trip to Iowa. Thank you so much. Andrew did most of the work in helping set this up. He and Chuck Barland, who you've seen in the videos, have gotten us into so many great places that I never would have heard of. So my thanks to both of them and to you for all of your great playing and demonstrating these instruments. So if you've enjoyed this, then you know what to do. Go down and give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see us make more videos from somewhere else in the world, we rely on our sponsors to make that happen. So you can find a link to our website down there, organ.media. On our front page, there's a little form where you can become a video sponsor. You can become a sponsor at any level. Any amount helps us get out to places like these and see great organs like these. So you can do that there. You can also go to our website and see a list of everybody that's donated this year. We keep that on our website because we want to thank all of you wonderful donors for keeping Organ Media out and traveling and keeping this stuff coming out. We'll be coming to you soon from somewhere in the world. I don't know where our next video will be, but you can find out. Just make sure you're subscribed to our channel and click the bell to get notifications so you know when that video is there. Until that time, you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, organlive.com, Positively Baroque, and The Organ Experience. Thank you again, Andrew. This has been a wonderful trip.
My pleasure.
And until next time, I'm Brent Johnson.
I'm Andrew Schaeffer.
I'll talk to you soon.